Hey guys, John Man here. New episode of Who Is Better? Woo! Or whatever. Anyways, so this week it's L-Vortex versus Torrential Tribute. So first I'm going to explain to you guys who are at least new on here, or at least know they're sort of new to the game, what these do. Some of you guys have been like, yeah, I'll just get it over with quick, but yeah, let's just do it. L-Vortex. Spell card. You can effect says discard one card, destroy all face-up monsters your opponent controls. Awesome. So you can activate the turn you got the card. Sweet. Torrential Tribute. Trap card, just normal trap card. It says activate only when, and then it says only when, you have to meet that requirement at the time it says so. Remember that. Activate only when a monster is summoned. So that means anyway, normal, flip, or special. Those three summons. Includes, remember, synchro summons are special summons, so you're able to activate this card when monsters are synchro summoned. Remember that. Destroy all monsters on the field. Okay, so your side, your opponent's side. Darn. Okay. Anyways, you can activate that at least on your opponent's turn, so that's the best part. So let's go through the basics here. Why don't we? First, Royal Decree negates Torrential Tribute. Trap stun, it's a mini Royal Decree in this case. Summon Tools of the Bandit. You can pay 1,000 life points and then negate the activation of the trap card and destroy it. Jinzo. Well, first off, let me explain something here for you guys. First off, when Jinzo summoned, you do not have the ability to activate this card, because once Jinzo is summoned, no trap cards can be activated. And any that are active at the time will not continue anymore because they're negated. Same thing with Bottomless Trap Hole. You can't chain Bottomless Trap Hole to Jinzo because he's already on the field. Now there is one card, or actually three cards, Black Horn of Heaven, and well, actually not Black Horn of Heaven, but at least Horn of Heaven itself and Solemn Judgment will be able to stop him, because they say to negate the summon, while Bottomless Trap Hole and Torrential Tributes don't say that. So you actually do have the chance to say I'll Solemn your Jinzo, but you can't say I'll bottom your Jinzo. It just doesn't work because it doesn't say negate the summon. So remember that. Well, in this case you're stopping the summon, but still. So remember that. Jinzo will win on Torrential Tribute, or TT. One card that will stop L-Vortex, other than Solemn Judgment, which I don't have at the moment, Solemn Judgment. Magic Drain will stop L-Vortex. Now remember, when it says discard one card, you have to do that before this is officially activated. So, once you activate this card by discarding one card first, and this is chained, then even if it was a spell card, you still have to discard another card for what this is, or let this card be negated, so you won't get your card back. Remember that. So, more cards Torrential Tribute and L-Vortex are weak against once they're on the field though. Dust Tornado, Heavy Storm, and Mystical Space Cyclone. I know you're saying, well, obviously you're not going to want to set L-Vortex, dummy. Well, yeah, you're not, but in case it does happen, it still is at least weak against us, guys. You gotta remember that, so. Two cards that, other than Solemn Judgment, that will stop these two will be My Body's a Shield. What it says is, when your opponent activates a card that has the effect that destroys one or more monsters on the field, you can pay 1,500 life points, 1500, put annotation just so you can see for your own eyes. Pay 1,500 life points to negate the activation of the card and destroy it. Okay, so it's like pretty much just says I'm solemn, but different. Okay, coolest part is you can attack, and let's say your opponent activates Mirror Force. You can at least chain this card because it's a quick spell. So, fantastic! Well, at least I think you could. But either way. And one more monster. Or card, actually. Stardust Dragon! Yay! Well, we all knew at least Stardust Dragon could. But when this is summoned, and your opponent chains Torrential Tribute, you do have the chance to negate and destroy because it's already on the field. So, you do have the timing. There's no, like, you don't miss it or anything there, so. Torrential Tribute can also be stopped by a Stars Dragon and Lightning Vortex. So, the coolest thing about at least my Bodies of Shield is that you don't need to have a monster. I mean Stars Dragon in particular, so it's cool. Alright, Lightning Vortex can its effect can be eased up a little bit, so you're not just wasting cards, so to speak. Dandelion and Treeborn Frog are two good cards you can always dump to the graveyard and get their effects, so it's pretty sweet. Diamond Dude, he's pretty good because this is a normal spell card, so when it says activate its effect, it means you're activating its effect, not its cost or anything. So that's the nice part about Lightning Vortex. Torrential Tribute cards you can kind of play so you can benefit off when you have to activate it. Sangan and Vortex Trooper. This one says after it's destroyed, draw a card, so that works. And Sangan, when it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you get a monster with 1500 attack or less. And remember this, when you attack into a recruiter like Giant Rat or Mystic Tomato and they special summon a monster, since it's still during a damage step, you cannot activate Torrential Tribute, so remember that. So that's it for this Who is Better. So choice is Torrential Tribute or Lightning Vortex. I mean, it's your choice, but in certain degrees Lightning Vortex is nice because you can just destroy your opponent's field, but this you can chain on your turn or your opponent's turn, whatever. You know, of course the only problem is you have to have it set the turn before, and it's weak to normal spell and trap destruction cards, and weak against cards that will negate it before it's activated. So, but you know, that's kind of how a lot of cards work anyway. So it's your choice, Lightning Vortex or Torrential Tribute. And remember, guys, I will take requests on which cards that have similar, near to similar effects, and do kind of like the same thing. I'll even accept them even if they're not monsters or stuff. So that's pretty much it, and peace out, guys.